What is he?
Oh no, it's Ragiroth Enterprises!
I love to sing about the moon and the June and the spring. I love to sing about a sky of blue or a key or a Q, anything with.
How's it going, everybody? Rich from Ragiroth Enterprises here with another Mortal Kombat related video. So, E3 2018 has passed. In my opinion, it was not only a good E3, but maybe the best one in a while. Resident Evil 2 Remake, Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3 release date and some news on it, Fist of the North Star Yakuza game coming to America, all the Super Smash Brothers stuff, Ridley, enough said there. Oh, and Jump Force. But there were some things that did kind of suck. There were maybe nitpicks to an extent, like would have liked the release date for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Would have liked at least some official character reveals for Soul Calibur 6. No Final Fantasy VII Remake news kind of sucked, but I think the biggest ball kicker we can probably agree on is no Mortal Kombat 11. Hell, there's actually not many WB game stuff related there in general. No NetherRealm game, no Rocksteady game. They basically both just said they didn't really have anything to show. And I wanted to. Oh, I know they did release Hitman 2, which was I guess cool. I was never really that into that series, but cool for fans of it. So for the start of this video, I want to talk about why Mortal Kombat 11 was maybe not shown off, and where it could be shown off in the future. Now first, there's maybe a possible slight answer as to why. Ed Boon did answer someone's question at E3 2018, like he was there, he just didn't have anything to show, he always goes. He said something like, he can't really talk about it much now, you know, we usually have a pattern, they kind of had to flip things around. He said, yeah, we can't just really talk, very vague, typical answer that doesn't really tell us that much, but they did mention that the pattern that we usually expect had to be changed up a bit. Now, so this could mean a variety of things. This could mean either A, they're not working on Mortal Kombat 11, that might not be the next game. B, they are, but it's just way farther off than what we're pretty much expecting. Like, it might not be 2019 for all we know. Or C, they are working on it and it'll probably be coming out in 2019, but they're just not quite ready to show it off yet. And that's kind of the one I think is the most likely, and maybe it might just be because it's the one I'm the most hopeful for. So now, there are possible whys. And like, well, let's say, so, alright, let's break this down further. If they're not working on Mortal Kombat 11, what would they be working on? Well, I think a common guess is some kind of horror fighting game, because, well, just look at Mortal Kombat X, they really, or even MK9 to a lesser extent, they freaking love their horror characters, so they might just want, you know, that's like them just wanting, like, alright, let's just make a full horror fighting game, get it out of our system. I would check that out. It wouldn't really be, I wouldn't be nearly as excited for that as I am Mortal Kombat 11, but, I mean, because I know we already got that Omen of Sorrow game and a Terrordrome 2. I mean, I guess NetherRealms would probably be a bit higher budget, though, and probably more recognizable characters. Alternatively, they could be doing Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks 2. I know there was a poll saying like what fans most want to see, and that did actually win. That even beat Mortal Kombat 11. But I think it was because we were all kind of still hoping there'd be another combat pack. So probably a lot of the votes for Mortal Kombat 11 just went to the options for another combat pack. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, look, I would get Shaolin Monks 2, but I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be kind of disappointed. I mean, unless it started like different characters. Like, I know some people theorize on maybe like Jade and Katana, maybe like Raiden and Fujin. I think that'd be cool. But if it was like Kung Lao and Liu Kang again, or like Sub-Zero and Scorpion again, that would be kind of lame. I personally would like to see if it was a spin-off game. I'd like to see a Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero Mythologies, but because since the first one was following Bihan, it would be him when he's Noob Saibot. That would actually be really cool. Or alternatively, maybe they're doing Injustice 3 or Mortal Kombat vs. DC 2, but it doesn't seem like they'd be doing a sequel to Injustice so soon. And they could be doing MK vs. DC 2, but I feel like just because it's like, that really wasn't that well received, I mean, I didn't mind it that much. They just want to do that again, and I feel like they'd still be restricted to fatality stuff. I would just be kind of disappointed, because I know, like, both sides of the roster would probably not be great, because they'd have to, you know, it would have to be split in half, and they're probably missing a lot of cool characters that we didn't get in MKX that we want to see, that they probably want to put in. So that's why I think Mortal Kombat 11 for me, and I think many others, would just be the most ideal thing, and I think that is still most likely happening. It's just that slight chance that it's not. Now, as to why they could maybe not be ready to be shown off, I mean, we got to think of it like this. Injustice 2, they kind of stopped support like late February, maybe March, April-ish. And I think that's later when they kind of stopped with MKX, because, well, the last characters for Injustice 2 were the Turtles, who were like mid-late February, while Combat Pack 2 for MKX came out in January. So that's a month they're kind of losing. Not to mention, I think there were still some updates like Legendary Gear and all that stuff to Injustice 2 being done too. So they were working on that more near the end than they were Mortal Kombat X near the end. So that, I think, kind of slowed them down a bit. Alternatively, or maybe additionally, like this MK game could be a bigger deal. I'm hoping if this, with this kind of delay of news, we're at least hitting a 30 base roster, 30 character base roster at launch. I really hope so. Or maybe they're just kind of figuring out what to do, because people want tag back, the variations, and this maybe not sure what to do with the story. So maybe they're just kind of working some things out before it's in a place where they're ready to show it off. That's what I'm hoping is the case. I'm really hoping is the case, and I could see it being the case. I don't want to say, it's definitely the case. So don't kill me if I'm wrong. This is just me speculating. So then I think that's enough for like the whys. Now let's talk about. All right, so let's say it is Mortal Kombat 11. They're still working on it. Where are they going to show it off if they're not showing it at E3? Well, the bad news is that even if we might have to wait a bit longer, it might not have to be that much longer. So I have a list of some good conventions that are coming up that I could see it being announced at. And they are San Diego Comic-Con, which is July 19th to July 22nd. EVO, like kind of the big fighting game convention, tournament, whatever you want to call it, that is August 3rd to August 5th. Gamescom, basically like, I guess, European E3. That's August 24th to August 25th. New York Comic Con, October 4th to October 7th. And the Video Game Awards, which don't really have a confirmed date, but they're probably going to be like sometime early December. That's when they usually are. Now, even though, I know Comic Con, yes, it's more so comic, movie focused. Mortal Kombat has kind of become such a large part of pop culture, and I mean, for what it's worth, having comics in the past, Mortal Kombat X even had its own comic. And there is game news at Comic-Con. Maybe it's not like huge game news, but it is game news nonetheless. So it is definitely possible it can be announced at San Diego Comic-Con. EVO, I mean, it's like the kind of, it's I guess kind of the E3, for lack of a better term, for fighting games. And we have had fighting game announcements there before, like characters they're adding, or hell, even Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle was announced at EVO. Granted, I think that's partially because that game kind of had EVO up its butt. But even still, fighting games can be announced there. Gamescom, this is where I think it's kind of getting less unlikely. The only reason I don't know if Gamescom is quite as likely is just because I feel like they'd want to focus on announcing European games. And Mortal Kombat is an American-made game. But then again, it's like they announced Japanese-made games at E3, so it could happen. New York Comic Con, as much as cool as it'd be announced there, because I'm probably going to that. That's usually not as big as San Diego Comic Con. The Video Game Awards, I feel like it's hit or miss. Like, there are some good big game announcements there. Hell, Soul Calibur 6 was announced there. But, I don't know. I feel like it could happen, but it's definitely less likely. I think, personally, I mean, I know that's like, I kind of want it to be San Diego Comic-Con or EVO because they're the closest, but to me, they do kind of seem the biggest, and I feel like the ones that Mortal Kombat would have the most presence at. So, if my theory is right, and Mortal Kombat 11 is in development and they just weren't quite ready to show it at E3, I think it is pretty likely for them to be shown off there. The strange thing is, I think there was a leak on Amazon that said there was maybe 4 placeholders for 4 more WB games after E3, and I don't really know if those placeholders were kind of filled. I guess maybe they were just different editions of maybe like Hitman 2 and Lego DC Villains and stuff. That's the only thing I could think of. I am kind of looking forward to that too, by the way, Lego DC Villains. But yeah, I think that's really it for this video. There's a couple things I did want to say though before I go. First of all, I want to apologize for if I was in any way kind of hyping some people up, getting their hopes up that Mortal Kombat 11 would definitely be shown off at E3. I really hope I didn't do that. If I did, I'm greatly sorry. I think it kind of fooled all of us. We all kind of thought it was most likely going to be announced there, and it kind of took us by surprise. It was kind of really dumb. No, not dumb, but kind of frustrating of Ed Boon to kind of tell us, at the very end of E3, it's definitely not there. We don't have anything announced. He could have really said that from the get-go. I think that would have been much better, and it would have let us down a little more easily. So yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, I have a lot of other things to keep me distracted. Soul Calibur 6, Smash Bros, Devil May Cry 5, and all that. But I mean, I am still hurt by it. I was really hoping to see, like, you know, some characters, you know, I love return. Finally, like New Brain, Fujin, Frost, etc., or just to kind of see how the game would be like. You know, what would be happening. So it does suck. You know, it's not like, you know, it doesn't affect me. It does suck. It is upsetting, and I really hope Mortal Kombat 11 is the next game they're working on. Like any other game, will, like, you know, yeah, I'll get it, but I'll be disappointed, like I said previously. The second thing I want to say is, I guess you can kind of consider this as a somewhat replacement for when I would usually be like, hey, check out my friend Mark Unart in the description below. My friend Joshua Braffman, I've had him in a couple videos in the past. He's Skullstar Productions on YouTube, check him out. He actually finally released a book I think he's been working on, I think for a few years, at least a few years. It is called Sanctum Wasteland Correspondent. It seems like kind of a dystopian future kind of story. It is about $20 on Amazon right now. And right here is a picture of the cover art for it. Might as well use it. And yeah, I'm going to post a link to it on Amazon and a little blurb about it in the description below, so check that out, and I'll post his channel, of course, as well. You know, I figured I'd plug that, help him out. I think it just released recently. And lastly, let me know what, you know, like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it, it's a free country. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. When, you know, what do you think is the deal with NetherRealm? Are they working on Mortal Kombat 11? Was it just not ready to show off? Do you think they're working on something else? Or, you know what, if you just want to vent about Mortal Kombat 11 not being shown off, feel free to vent. I'm right there with you. I know that, again, I have other things to distract myself, but I will vent with you. I'm upset about it myself. I mean, I know it's not like, you know, not sending them death threats or anything, but it is upsetting news. So, I think that's it. As I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.